In recent weeks, we've seen news reports about Walmart and other big retailers chartering vessels amid the current confusion and challenges in international shipping. This is an important development in the whole global shipping crisis, and it isn't necessarily a good sign. Stay tuned till the end to find out why. Welcome to Global Trade Explained, a series of videos dedicated to providing useful information about importing and exporting goods internationally. In this video, we'll be talking about why big retailers like Walmart, Target, Home Depot, Costco, and Dollar Tree are throwing themselves into long-term agreements to sail their own vessels. Walmart has taken shipping matters into its own hands, chartering a number of ships from August 2021 onwards, and the list doesn't stop there. For example, Coca-Cola has also taken a creative approach to ensure timely delivery of supplies around the world to its bottling plants. The beverage giant is going to great lengths by using bulk shipping vessels to ship its materials. Bulk shipping vessels are, exactly like the name says, used to transport raw materials in bulk, like grains or coal. Coca-Cola turned to the alternative of using bulk carriers over the traditional containerized shipping approach in order to maintain its operations. And it's not only U.S. companies that have turned to drastic measures in order to keep up to supply demand. Swedish retail giant IKEA is also chartering its own container ships and has also bought shipping containers to ensure goods keep moving on time. The move was triggered by delays to the 100 containers IKEA had on the Ever Given, which made global headlines when it was grounded in the Suez Canal in March. So 2021 has been a rough year when it comes to the normal flow of goods in global markets. Whether you work in international trade or not, if you read the news once in a while, you probably know that there is a lot of chaos within supply chains. One way or another, you are probably affected by it, either by having to pay more for products or services, not finding certain products in stock, or by the fuel and power shortages happening in many countries. The shipping crisis is only one of the many obstacles that are currently impacting international trade. Besides the pandemic, there are several reasons that got the shipping industry to this point. We've previously made a video explaining some of the causes. If you haven't watched it yet, we'll leave a link in the description down below. There's an old saying that goes, if you want something done right, you better do it yourself. This is what some of the biggest retailers in the U.S. are doing right now, taking matters into their own hands to ensure business as usual for the upcoming holidays in 2021. The container backlog and the recent trend among retailers to look for alternative solutions was dubbed as Containergeddon by Reuters, and then other media outlets picked up the term soon after. So what started Containergeddon? Several reports say that the equivalent of more than 500,000 20-foot shipping containers, or TEUs as they're called in the industry, are stuck off the coast of Southern California, sitting on ships waiting to dock. This is caused by ports operating at lower capacities due to a lack of workers and truck drivers, as well as previous disruptions in supply chains due to the pandemic. In order to overcome port congestion issues and to guarantee they can stock their shelves in time for the holidays this year, big retailers have decided to charter their own cargo ships and rent containers to import goods. This will secure much-needed shipping capacity, especially for season-specific products like, for example, Christmas sweaters or toys and Christmas decorations, which can't be sold after the holidays. You might be thinking, how would chartering their own ships help retailers if the ports are congested? First of all, the company leasing a vessel can set the vessel's voyage, meaning they can sail directly to any port they want, as opposed to container liners that follow a specific shipping route. Second of all, the ships that Walmart or other retailers are leasing are smaller cargo ships. This allows them to bypass congested ports and unload cargo faster than by shipping through regular shipping lines. In fact, many of the ships chartered by retailers have actually been repurposed for carrying containers. As Reuters reported in October, Walmart has chartered a grain cargo ship, stuffed it full of toys and consumer goods, and sent it away from the LA port to a nearby cargo dock. Or, as we mentioned earlier, Coca-Cola took a more creative approach by shipping supplies in bulk. To understand why smaller vessels can bypass port congestion, and also one of the causes of the container backlog, we must first take a quick look at the history of shipping containers. Shipping containers are a relatively new thing, and they revolutionized the shipping of break-bulk cargo like manufactured goods. Before the advent of containerization in the 1950s, break-bulk items were loaded, lashed, unlashed, and unloaded from the ship one piece at a time. In the shipping industry, container capacity is abbreviated as TEU, which means a 20-foot equivalent unit. 1 TEU equals a 20-foot container. The earliest container ships could carry from 500 to 800 TEUs. But in order to maximize their profits, shipping companies prefer bigger ships that can carry a higher capacity per voyage. So for the last 20 years, we've been seeing ship capacities rise, from 6,000 to 8,000 TEUs in the early 2000s to 21,000 to 25,000 TEUs in 2019. The problem is that as ships got bigger, not all ports and container terminals caught up. So this means that big container ships like the ones operated by Maersk or other carriers can only dock at bigger ports that can accommodate them. Of course, due to their size and the shortage of workers, it takes longer to unload these vessels, causing delays and port congestion. So by leasing out smaller vessels, the big retail chains aren't tied to docking at the bigger ports that are blocked and can unload their cargo at other smaller ports or cargo docks that aren't as congested. But these ships are only used to move part of the total imports. The rest still comes on regular container liners. So what does the big chains taking matters into their own hands mean, and what implications does it have? Although these measures will help retailers stock up in time for the holidays, this doesn't help them save on costs. Quite the opposite, this will cost more than shipping through regular container liners, even considering that shipping rates are currently higher than they've ever been. For consumers, this will more than likely translate into higher prices. Another sad reality is that while big chains have the financial possibilities and resources to overcome shortages in supply chains, in the long term we might see smaller mom-and-pop businesses and startups be affected by the shipping crisis. This in turn might further delay post-pandemic economic recovery. Many reports say that the chartering contracts retailers have signed into aren't short-term deals, which would lead one to think that the shipping crisis won't be over anytime soon. We would like to hear your opinion about the global shipping crisis, so please let us know in the comments below. If you found this content useful, please give the video a like, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe to be up to date with all the content we make. And as always, thank you for watching.